Where's your devotion? Where's your devotion? Deep as the ocean.
Hi Aries, welcome to Maddie Tarot. I'm Maddie, and today we're going to be doing a general reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. Keep in mind that this is a general reading, so it may not resonate for everybody from front to back. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. You may need to swap roles throughout the reading, because I am just reading energy and doing my best to put a story together based on the messages coming through. So I could be talking about you, your person, another individual or party at any time. Just swap roles as necessary, but don't stretch or overextend to make it fit. If it's not your story, it's not your story, okay? But do be sure to check your other placements because your messages could be there. I've already cleansed the space, cleansed the decks, pre-shuffled, and meditated on the collective conscious of Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. All right, I just want to say thank you to anybody who's supporting this channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Leave, feedback. I'm open to receiving feedback, and I do respond to everybody. So thank you so much for coming along on this journey. Without further ado, Aries, here is your spread. What does Aries need to know? What does Aries need to know? All right, so your crystal card, Aries, petalite. This angelic stone was used by shamans to provide a safe environment around them as they explore the spiritual plane. With its very high vibration, it's excellent to use during deep meditation. It can help you reach back in time and heal old family wounds and trauma. Aries, you may be addressing some childhood wounds, or you may be having some family conflict, or you may just be addressing drama in general. It doesn't necessarily need to be family, but here is a specific reference to family with the petalite. Okay, so let's get some clarifier. Let's get into this reading. Alrighty. Happy holidays, everybody. I hope y'all are having a, nice holiday season. All right, so on your end, Aries, we've got the Two of Swords. Mind you, I'm going to run through this real quickly, and then I'll go back through it in greater detail once we're done with that, okay? So on your end, you've got the Two of Swords. So what I'm getting here is you are in indecision about something. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Maybe you're just weighing some options here, but on your person's end, they've got the Nine of Wands. On your person's energy, there's, it's like the wounded warrior. And so what I'm getting here really is that you are in a situation with somebody where it is a recurring fight, and you don't really know where to go from here. You've got the Lovers and the Five of Cups in reverse clarifying. So the Lovers upright and the Five of Cups in reverse clarifying. So the Five of Cups in reverse is talking more about like finding peace and forgiving self, moving on, and then the Lovers. So it's obviously you are having trouble finding peace. You're at a gridlock with somebody in regard to finding peace in this love union. And on your person's end, they want, they've got the wounded warrior here, so they are trying to persevere. Persevere. They're very determined to persevere, to keep moving, but they've got the Star here, so they're losing hope. It's in reverse, hopelessness. In the past energy here, we've got the Page of Cups. There was, I feel like this is a recurring problem because of the Page of Cups here in the past. The Page of Cups can talk about an apology, but the Page of Cups also refers to a sort of, daydreaming and inner child. So there could be like childhood wounds that were at play. Maybe this is a recurring conflict due to childhood wounds. They say when you have a recurring conflict that continues, you guys are having the same arguments, that usually means that it's not a communication problem, it's an unresolved childhood wound problem. So just keep that in mind. And you could be just possibly dealing with a Sagittarius, because you've got the Nine of Wands over here in your person's energy. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that's true. They could be just embodying fiery energy, but just keep that in mind. And really, though, you've got two water energies in between you guys. So in the past and in the present. So this was a largely very emotional connection. But in the past here, Page of Cups clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. So there's manifestation here. You guys have brought each other to, you brought one another to each other. You manifested each other essentially, and there was a lot of opportunity here. but it looks like somebody missed the mark. Somebody missed those opportunities to like get that apology in. Maybe there was inner childhood wounds that were going on, but it's brought y'all to this point right now of the moon in reverse. And that is some sort of a clarity and understanding. You guys are having these recurring fights, but you are right on the precipice of the understanding. And the reason I believe this is because you're at a gridlock, your person's feeling hopeless, and it's like you guys have been through the ringer. So what's really needed here is this understanding. You need to release these fears here. And the Knave of Cups, again, look at that Page of Cups. You guys need to release these fears here, apologize to each other, understand that this dates back to a childhood wound. That pain was in you prior. If you really, really sit with it long enough, you'll see that. And you guys are fighting over the surface level things that are not actually relevant. And so here in your intuition, you've got, what is that? Justice. This is, your intuition's trying to tell you that you're in this is a karmic cycle that you're in within this connection, not that the connection is a karmic connection, but you are in a karmic cycle and you guys are replaying these things over and over and over. And what you're being asked to do is to release that, bring balance here, bring balance to the situation, understand that you and your partner are equal in this and both of you are right. Both of you are right. So just start talking about each other's feelings instead. You've got here clarifying judgment in reverse. There's an air of, how do you say? There's an air of doubt here going on, of loathing. It's like not learning lessons, which is why this continues going and going and going. So stop pointing the finger at each other and understand that this pain dates, it's a cycle. The problem is not you or your person. The problem is the cycle. And your intuition's trying to tell you that right now. Your challenge here is nurturing, loving, caring, the Queen of Cups. Your challenge here is to stay calm, remain intuitive, receive these intuitive messages, remain kind and compassionate towards your partner. That is a challenge right now because you guys are probably so sick of this going around and around like a merry-go-round. But the Devil in reverse here is what will come if you remain compassionate. The Devil in reverse, which is, it's this freedom. You free yourself of this. It's like trauma addiction right now. It's like you don't realize, you know, what it is actually, if you're not aware that you are replaying a pattern of childhood that you didn't get to fulfill. Our brains want to fulfill things, right? It wants to bring things to completion. Our brain brings things to completion. It fills in the blanks. So when you were maybe broken up as a child in regard to your childhood trauma, and this is not to say that you had bad parents, it's not to say that your parents were neglectful. I mean, maybe they were in ways that you weren't even aware of. But what I'm saying is that you don't complete certain cycles in childhood and then you receive this broken image of something and you don't even realize it happened. It imprints on your subconscious, and then your adult life is pretty much ran until you become aware of these things, ran by completing those cycles. And what it takes, you know, and somebody's not who's not aware of this will just be like, they'll just think that's how they are. They'll say, that's just me. That's just the way I think. That's the way I am. Unaware of the cycle. And so what is coming here is awareness and detachment from that, freedom from this cycle, releasing yourself, and stepping into the energy of healing. Your advice here is the Four of Cups. You need to look into the discontentment and apathy here that you have. And so you will find your answer down in through the disconnection, through the discomfort, through the indifference. The Sun in reverse. You need to release the ego. Release the ego. This is what is blocking your happiness. This seems counterproductive, but leaning into your unhappiness is your key to your happiness. You are blocking it by avoiding it. So there is something to, there's some sort of, how do you say? There's some sort of ego attachment here. We'll call it, so your ego has grabbed onto something, has attached to something, and you don't even realize it. And your advice here is to release the ego, put your pride aside, dig deep, go down into that discontentment, and understand that this is a cycle. Stop putting your person's face over the cycle and start talking to each other about feelings and letting this go and looking where this stems from. You've got the your person's next move and their feelings and what they're thinking. Knight of Swords. They want to give. They want to talk. They want to talk. They wish you could hear them. They feel unheard. They feel unheard. You know, you guys may be very impatient with each other. You may be going back and forth. There may be some choice words that have been, but it's your person wants to talk. Look at that strength, courage. They want to talk. They want to speak their piece. They want you to come toward them with courage. Again, you know, you could be dealing with either a Sagittarius. You could be dealing with an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. You could be dealing with a water sign. I'm getting heavily Pisces. Those aren't necessary though. So it's okay if your person is not that, or maybe they embody that energy, or maybe it's in their chart, but either way, that's not the most important part here. So your bias here, King of Swords. Your bias is something surrounding your reasoning. You think you've got yourself figured out, but you don't, because you're not aware. The clear thinking is not actually clear thinking, it's ego thinking. Your ego is talking. So there's a lot of your bias here is how disciplined you have made yourself in the mind space in regard to the way of thinking that you have. So Aries, you can be a little rough around the edges sometimes and a little bit hesitant to move toward new ideas, and that is great. You guys bust through the wall, and you're very, very forceful about the things you're passionate about, and that's beautiful. But when it comes to changing your mind, it's very hard. And so I understand that. But the Knave of Pentacles here in reverse is serving to tell you that there's some sort of procrastination here. There's a missed chance. And that is what your bias here is trying to say. Your limited thinking has made you miss so many connecting points and chances with your person, chances to strengthen this bond. In the guidance section, you've got the Six of Spheres, the Six of Pentacles. So giving, equal give and take. Again, with the intuition, it's got justice. That's an equal give and take, balancing of forces. So it's like equal give and take. The justice obviously doesn't mean what the Six of Pentacles or Six of Spheres means, but what I'm trying to say is the equal give and take and the balance here. Your guidance here is to understand you guys are equal and you guys are fighting over things that are not actually each other. It is a cycle. The enemy is the cycle. Identify the cycle, and then that's how you get out of it. And you've got this clarified by the Six of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, you've got the Two of Cups in reverse. And the Six of Swords in reverse here on your guidance. So Six of Spheres, and then the Six of Swords in reverse. So this is trying to tell you that there's some sort of, you're stuck in the past. This is, again, it's the same message. You're stuck in the past. You're running away from a problem instead of facing it. And when I mean running away, it's not necessarily running away from your person. It's that you guys fighting each other about each other is running away from the problem, because the problem is the cycle. And when you're in the cycle, you're just running around like the hamster wheel. So let's go back to here. Oh, and then what you have coming. So the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands talks about some sort of inspiration, enthusiasm, and a new passion is born. And the new passion is born out of the Two of Cups in reverse energy, which was this imbalance. You had this separation, not necessarily physically, but mentally and emotionally. There was some sort of disharmony here. And so there's new passion brought back to the disharmony due to you transcending some sort of childhood wound and trauma here. So let's go back through this one more time and get more detailed. So we've got the Two of Swords. Indecision. You are tired of going around the merry-go-round with this person. You are trying to forgive, but you can't seem to forgive when the same things keep happening. you're trying to be content and find peace. And this is with somebody you deeply care about, the Lovers. Your person's energy. The King of Wands. The King of Wands is somebody who, after a bout of anger, they release it pretty well. They're looking at the bigger picture here. I don't know if I read this card though. Oh, I was gonna say this was not the King of Wands earlier. I'm just reading it wrong because it's upside down. The Nine of Wands. So sorry, guys. I was going to say, this is not making sense now. The Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. This person is trying to persevere. There's resistance here, but there's also persistence. And so they're trying to continue forward and continue on with you. They don't want to lose hope. But it's creeping in. Hopelessness with the Star in reverse. It's creeping in. And that is because in the past, there was this opportunity of, you know, there was a missed opportunity here. There was an opportunity, but somebody missed the opportunity on like apologizing at certain things and really taking the moment to validate each other. And that's what I'm really getting here, validation. So there was not enough sorry and validation and understanding of each other's feelings, and the opportunities were being passed by due to some illusion that dated back to childhood trauma for the both of you. And in the present energy, it's brought you to this moon. What this is needed, the moon in reverse, is like releasing fear, releasing this. There needs to be some sort of clarity here. Okay. And then clarified by the Knave of Cups. Again, apology. Understanding that you guys are essentially, like, the Knave of Cups can also talk about like dreaming. And so it's like, again, essentially you guys have been living in this like dream state, in this illusion of the moon. So you need to turn the moon upside down to release the fear, understand that each other are not a problem. Get out of this dream state, because you want this balance here, and it's trying to, your intuition's trying to tell you, justice, that there's a balanced union here. The energy is there, but judgment in reverse is really stopping it, because there's too much doubt. And there's too much unwillingness to learn each other's patterns, and understand we are all unique individuals with such different experiences in life, that it's just out of this world to think that somebody will come and just know everything on a deep level and be able to, and you won't have to communicate all your needs and your expectations and your boundaries. And you need to be aware of your pain points as well, and your triggers. In the present energy, there's healing needed. Your challenge is healing. Your challenge is to remain calm, receive these messages, remain kind to your person. Your challenge is to be very supportive. And in doing that, the devil, you will detach from this addictive cycle that's been in repeat. And it's just, it's reclaiming your power back, essentially. And you don't need to reclaim your power. You don't need to put your partner down. You do not need to put your partner down. I never tried to give my life meaning by demeaning you. Don't do that. Your advice. Ego needs to go. Dissolve. The Sun in reverse. And this is the Four of Cups here. So the Four of Cups. You need to go into that pain and understand where that came from. Follow the thread back. In the discontentment, in the disappointment, in the disconnection, you will find a newfound sense of connection, because you will have transcended the ego. And your advice here is to follow that thread back, find where this stems from, and understand that it's largely subconscious. You two have been miscommunicating. So all that pain in fighting is largely not even real, not even happening, because the fights have been happening over miscommunications, misinterpretations, and just, it's not even real. You can let it go, because it wasn't even happening. You just thought it was happening. You get what I'm saying? Your person, what their next move is, what they're thinking, how they're feeling. They've got the Knight of Swords here. So they want to talk to you. They might be a little sharp-tongued, but they want to talk to you. They want to have the courage to speak up and bring this message forward. If you guys are in separation, or if you guys are together, whether or not, your person is wanting to talk. This is heavily on their mind. And so, do you have the strength to move toward them, Aries? That's the question. Your bias here is the King of Swords. Your bias here is your way of reasoning, logic, thinking. You might intellectualize a lot of things and not understand that this is something that is deeper rooted. You may just say, that's just the way I feel and that's how I think, and da-da-da. But like, why? Why do you think that way? Why is that how you feel? Have you actually heard what your person is saying, or have you been trying to assert your point? Have you been asserting that you are correct? Because if you continually assert that you are correct, and your person continually asserts that they are correct, then both of you are saying each other are wrong. And it would be a little more wise to maybe look and see that if both of you are wrong, then maybe both of you are right. And maybe it would be smarter to listen to each other's feelings and validate them instead of fighting about whose experience and perception is correct. Because perception is reality, and they both are correct. And your bias here is trying to tell you that. Your bias here, your bias here is keeping that information from you. You've got the Knave of Pentacles in reverse. There's a missed opportunity here. And it's kept you in a state of, how do you say? It's like procrastination. You may not, that's a little stretch. What I'm trying to say is that, like, you guys keep procrastinating on this healing, and Spirit's asking you to, like, come on. And so your guidance here is the Six of Spheres, I can't say that. Six of Pentacles, clarified by the Six of Swords in reverse. Your guidance here is equal give and take. And stop living in the past. Forgive each other. Move forward. Move forward. And this disharmonious energy, bring new passion into it by turning toward each other instead of away from each other, by validating each other instead of invalidating each other, by listening to your partner's point instead of trying to assert your point. And if both of you are able to do that, well, that's where this transforms. So let's get some energy cards for y'all. Let's see. Energy cards for Aries. Ideation. New ideas bring new solutions. Stop trying to have the same ideas and same fight. That's why it goes in a circle. Isolation. You need to go inward, deep inside, and confront this fear. It's a ghost of the past. Confront this fear. It's a ghost of the past. And in isolation, and you can, when you're in isolation, you can go inward, confront the ghost of the past, confront the fear, false evidence appearing real, and find new ideas on how to move forward and proceed. And let's pull one more. Magic. The magic card I equate to the magician card. So this is largely your doing on your end, and they're doing on their end for yourselves. Does that make sense? You're creating your own problems. They're creating their own problems. You guys need to stop pointing at each other and start looking inward, both of you. All right, Aries, so this is what I have for you today. I really hope it helped. Thank you.
Feel like we've reached a crossroads. Ooh, don't you hate them ultimatums? But we need a revelation to save us. Stuck in the moment, it seems. The more I think, the more I don't know. I'm looking for a sign. Where's your devotion?